Hey you guys, my name is Katarina. Very welcome to my channel. I'm a psychic coach and a spiritual guide helping you discover and own your power. These are my new series titled Awakening Age of Aquarius, where I am sharing some personal experiences that I am going through as an empath, as a light worker, as a star seed. And some of these experiences I want to share with you because I know there's a lot of light workers out there, a lot of star seeds, a lot of empaths. Oop, adjusting my seat a little bit because I feel like I'm too high up. But I know a lot of you guys are going through similar experiences, and I just want this to be a safe space where we get to share. So feel free to drop a comment, feel free to let me know what's going on with you. But today specifically, I want to be sharing about this energy shift that I've been experiencing, that I've noticed others experiencing as well, where we're stepping more into the divine feminine energy. Now, I just hosted a workshop in my private community on Facebook. I'll make sure to post a link to that when this live is finished so you can check it out. But I hosted a workshop titled Divine Feminine Rising and channeled a lot of kind of transformation tips for us who are kind of stepping more into the embodying of the feminine energy. Now, this is not just for girls, this is guys as well. You know, the feminine energy is not so much about gender, it's more about receiving, it's more about allowing, it's more about intuition, it's more about channeling, it's more about trusting yourself, it's more about holding space and accepting and expanding and being magnetic. Okay, so it's not gender specific, it's just the feminine energy, and each of us has that to an extent, but now we're stepping more into that. So something that I've noticed that has been coming up as a theme is resistance, because I think that a lot of us have been taught that the divine feminine is just not as worthy. It's not just not as valuable. It's just not as effective. It's so confusing, chaotic, all over the place. It's kind of dark, mysterious. It's hard to quantify, qualify. It's, you know, a mystery. And I think a lot of us kind of learn to believe that it's less than. But in reality, it's just not true. Yes, it's harder to understand. Yes, it's a lot more spontaneous and sporadic and creative. But that's the energy of life itself also. Life is unpredictable, although many of us would not want to believe that. Life is uncontrollable. Yes, you can manifest, and yes, you can intend, very successfully so. But can you control how life goes? Can you control how others act? No, you cannot. So the divine feminine is this kind of spontaneous, unpredictable, unexplainable, and yet incredibly powerful aspect of life itself. So as we begin to embody that divine feminine energy more, it's very important to remember that we will have resistance within ourselves come up. Now, even if you're a woman and divine feminine energy is something that you tend towards more, still you will have resistance very possibly come up, because even as someone who has, I guess, that energy more predominantly, a lot of women have been taught that it's just not worthy. You got to be more like a man. You got to act more like men do in order to be successful. You got to do things like guys do in order to get your way. So that's not the case. And as we begin to embody more of that divine feminine, we're going to have that pushback from ourselves. Because deep within, in our subconscious beliefs, we don't believe it's worthy. But it is. But you can't. You just can't change the society in the blink of an eye. You can't, even if you're more evolved. And as an empath, as a starseed, you probably are more evolved. And that's not to say that others are less worthy than you. No, they're just as worthy. Their path is just as sacred. But you might be more evolved. That's just the truth. And even still, as frustrating as it is, you can't make others evolve faster just because you're more evolved. You can't. You got to give them this time and the space to do it their own way. And that might take lifetimes. And that's okay. There is no way around that. Everyone's path is sacred, but you have to realize that embodying that feminine energy and working on yourself and working on your own capacity to hold more of that divine feminine energy, that's the only way that you can effect change around yourself. That's the only way that you can effect change on a larger scale in society as a whole, in our global community of human beings. So my advice to you guys is focus on embodying your own divine feminine energy. Focus on embodying more of the divine feminine energy. And that will affect change in others. That will inspire others to do it too. That will give you experiences and lessons to draw from as you guide others. So if you want to step into the divine feminine a lot more fully, if you want to hold space for it more, if you want to find out how to go around the resistance, I suggest you watch my free masterclass in my private community on Facebook. The community is called Daily Divination by Katarina Berry. I will post a link in the description. The community is free to join, so go to the announcements section at the very top and it will be right there. Check it out. There's a lot of value in it, and I think that you will truly benefit from it. Another thing that's happening that I also mentioned in the masterclass is I am holding a magnificent manifestation summit starting tomorrow, January 22nd, and until February 1st. Now, whenever you're watching this video, that summit is still available. If it's not live, it will be available for a purchase on replay. And if it is live, you can still join us. So I will also leave a link for that. Leave a link for that in the description to this video so you can check it out and see if it's a good fit for you. Now, the summit is for working with your natural cycle, working with the lunar cycles and figuring out how your cycle corresponds with the cycles of the moon. When is your best time to manifest? When is your best time to rest? When is your best time to release? When is your best time for the high, big vision ideas? So we're going to figure all of that out together. I'm also going to teach you how to create sacred rituals and spells, which is to say, how to rewire your subconscious beliefs in the meaningful, symbolical ways, and how to change the language that you use to speak to yourself internally, not externally, internally. How to change the wording of what you say to yourself and how to stop working against yourself with your words. That's what I mean by spells, because we're already casting spells. But most of us, they're not good, because it sounds terrible. The way that we talk to ourselves, oftentimes it sounds horrible, and so we self-sabotage, and so we drive ourselves into the stupor, and we don't trust ourselves, and we succumb to fear, and we give up. And most of the time it happens just because of the words that you use to talk to yourself internally. So the summit is for all of this. Figuring out your own cycle, figuring out how it corresponds with the cycles of the moon, figuring out how to create sacred rituals to rewire your subconscious beliefs. Because remember, you can't do that through logic. Logic is logic. Subconscious mind is divine feminine energy. It's dark and mysterious. It doesn't care about your logic. It doesn't care about what makes sense and the science and, the truth. It cares about what it believes, and what it believes is not logical. It's experience-based. So you got to create a meaningful, symbolic experience to rewrite your subconscious beliefs. And I'm going to teach you how to do that your way. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to teach you how to do it your way. I'm going to teach you the art of the intuition, the intuitive art. Okay? So it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be incredible. This summit comes with a personal arsenal of tools that I'm going to create just for you, curate for you. And I'm also going to do a mini reading for your where you are on your journey towards stepping into your gifts, your spiritual gifts. So I'm gonna leave all of that information in the description after this live is over, so check it out, come back and see it, and let's see, and yeah, and check out the free masterclass in my private community. It's totally free, and I've given so much value, and I really feel very proud of just hosting that and holding that space, because I feel like it was very needed. So I hope you can benefit from it as well. All right, on this note, I love you guys so very much. I hope you can feel my love. Thank you for joining and watching these new series. I hope you're liking them. And I'm wishing you all the best in embodying more of the divine feminine energy, allowing more, surrendering more, trusting more, attracting more, and being more, and more joy, more pleasure, more fun, more creativity. All right, bye you guys. See you soon.